Hello and welcome back. In this video, what I want to do is just give you a few tips and tricks that helps you be uh, the most prepared that you can be and also be successful in taking this course in this format. So what I would suggest you do is make sure on whatever platform you're watching the videos on that you put it on high definition. If you can put it on 1920 by 1080 at the minimum, maybe even 720 at the minimum. Make sure you're watching it on high definition so that the text doesn't look blurry to you, and also watch it on full screen. If you have two screens, I would recommend that you set up the video on one screen and then set up your environment on the other screen so that you can look at the video on one screen and type on the other. You can also pause and back it up. The other thing that works for some people is try to watch the video through first and then go back and actually do the video. Don't just watch these videos. It's not going to sink in. It maybe in the early videos it'll sink in. You're like, oh, I don't need to do this. But trust me, just take the time to slow down. Okay, slow down will cause you to speed up in the long run. Slow down and type through this with me. Okay, typing it and going through it yourself will allow you to start finding errors in your syntax and typing when you have bugs, and it's going to teach you a lot. It's also going to help you memorize some things that you need to memorize. Okay, it's some of that muscle memory of typing tags and syntax and things like that that we're going to be discussing in further chapters. So go ahead and do that. The other thing I would encourage you is don't worry about if you get confused. Okay, a lot of people give up when they get confused. I would say try and watch it again. If it still doesn't make sense, just keep watching. Maybe the way I explained it to you the first time just doesn't click with you. We're going to do things so many times. There's going to be so much repetition that this early stuff especially, you're going to see it used so much that I promise you you're going to get it, okay? So don't give up. We talked a little bit in the mindset video about belief, and I'm not going to go back into that. So just make sure that you're in the right mindset for this. If you do get overwhelmed, just take a day off. Take a day off, sleep on it, and then come back with a fresh mind. Don't just keep trying to hammer through more and more content, okay? Your mind will get to a point where it's not going to learn anything new for the day, and it's time to take a break. And sometimes taking a break for a weekend or a couple days and then coming back with a completely fresh mind will do wonders for you, okay? So some of the things that you're confused with will just open up for you after you take a little bit of break from it, even if you come back and watch the same video again or move on, okay? The other thing I would say is uh, don't try to rush through the content too quickly. If you're watching this as I'm releasing it, I'm probably only releasing one video a day anyway, and that's probably a good pace. Some of the earlier videos you might get away with 2 or 3 as the shorter videos a day in a row, but I wouldn't try if this is later when the entire series is out. I would, unless you have some prior experience, I wouldn't go through and just slam through an entire chapter in a day or anything like that, okay? Give yourself a few days to really understand what's going on and to just go through it. The other thing I would say is don't be afraid. You don't need to memorize everything that you're going to learn, okay? Like I said, coding's big. It is going to be expected even when you get a job that you're going to be looking through documentation and doing research to be able to solve your problem. It's more important to figure out how to solve problems than it is to memorize a programming language or syntax. Okay, so just learn what's possible, learn how to use that technology, and not necessarily memorize every line, because through repetition, the things that you do all the time, every day in your job, you're going to memorize those things. You're going to become very efficient. But in the early days, don't feel bad for having to go back and look things up. So I'm going to make it a point at the end of each chapter to go and show you where you can find documentation and learn more about as you do things. And sometimes I'm going to forget stuff even in the video, and we'll look it up together just to reiterate that, you know, even though I might be making videos for you guys, I still have to look stuff up all the time. Okay? And so I don't want you to think that I've just got this all memorized and I'm awesome at this, okay? I forget very basic stuff quite often, and you will too, and it's not a big deal. Just look it up and then move on. You get quick at even looking things up, okay? So I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement before you get going and try to set you up for success on this huge long journey we're starting together. All right, we'll see you in the next chapter.